everyone, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful 3D resin cake stand, which includes sand, shells, and waves. I'll include some important tips throughout, so watch till the end. This is not a full tutorial, so please tell me in the comments below which one you prefer so I can keep creating content that you love. I mixed some resin and sand together, and you need to get it to this soft peanut butter consistency, okay? And I'm gonna jump in right here with my first tip, which is don't use too much resin. All the extra resin is going to run off and create this icky, cloudy puddle, which will harden and just will look a mess. So use only what's necessary. What I did here was I sprinkled some sand and shells and etc. all over the top. You can jazz this up any way you want, but here comes my next tip. Make sure that none of the sand or shells or rocks are higher than the deepness of your mold, unless you are okay with those items protruding through the top of your cake stand. And make sure you let this cure, because if you don't and you try to put resin on top of this, it's going to mix with the sand. It'll just mix all together and that'll be horrible. I used low viscosity resin for the rest of the project. I think that this is best because when it's fully cured, it's harder than high viscosity resin, usually, and it cures slowly so it releases all the bubbles and makes it crystal clear. Here I just mixed in some regular blue pigment paste and poured the first layer of resin. Here comes the second layer of resin. I'm going to create more depth, so I'm using two colors this time. I'm using a darker blue and a super light blue. Honestly, I wish I would have created the waves on this layer, because I feel like when I created the waves on the third layer, it seemed like it was too high up. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I think that it would have looked better on the second layer. Okay, I'm letting these cure for a day or two. It's 2 days later and I have covered the top half with some clear resin. And I'm taking some white resin and drew a line where I would like my waves to start. I'm using my heat gun here to create some resin waves. Here comes my tip number 3. As you can see, my white resin is not touching the clear resin in some places. And what you should do is make sure that you don't have any spaces between your white resin and your clear resin, because it's difficult for the white resin to move anywhere. So I did try to fix it with my popsicle stick by blending it and then blowing out the waves, but you can learn from my mistake and save some precious time and headache. Another few days later, after everything had cured, because I wanted to do a second resin wave. You may or may not want to do this depending on what kind of design you would like. If you want just one wave or many waves, it's all up to you. You're the artist. You get to decide what you would like to do. So for me, I thought it wasn't enough, so I wanted to add another wave. I'll let you go ahead and watch the process. If you want to fast forward, please feel free. here's the final product. What do you guys think? I do love how clear the blue is, and it has so much depth. And some of the shells and stones are actually protruding from the surface. And I actually like that. It gives it so much character. And I do love how the waves came out. I really enjoyed this project, and I hope you do too. And thank you so much for watching till the end. I hope you guys would like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. And I'm no expert, but I would love to share my knowledge with you guys. See you on the next one.